Hello and welcome back, and hopefully you did enjoy this because this is going to be another episode of the Geek Tech Show. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 10 things I really don't like about this Canon PowerShot G7X Mark III, which I have been using for quite some time, so I really know what is going on with this camera after a month of really putting this to extensive use. So the number one thing I actually dislike about this camera is that it fails as an autofocus camera. When it focuses on you, on your face, as you keep on moving, and even sometimes if you stand still, it is actually having trouble focusing on you. This is a big problem with this camera. Hopefully a software update is gonna fix this. Number two issue with this is its failure to do macro shots. It's not as good as focusing with macro shots. Number three, and this is just not such a big upgrade compared to the 2 version. So the 2 version of this camera was good, but 3 is okay. I was waiting for something to be a mind-blowing, and it's not. It only has 4K feature on this camera, but that's it. It doesn't have anything else. No extra zoom, no more extra wide angle, and it's really missing that. The only thing I like is this silver grip on here. I wish that they made a bit more of this. Number four issue I have with this is that the menu itself, there's just not enough in there. There's just not enough options over here. There's not enough buttons. There's not enough extra over here. There's just such minor tweaks, and I think this has to do with number 5. The reason I don't really like this camera as much as I should have is that there's just not enough tweaks that have been moved to this camera from the previous version of it, and it doesn't really justify the price within a few $100 ranges. So number 6, I think we're at number 6 or number 5, is that this camera is not a minor upgrade. I mean, it is a minor upgrade, let's put it this way. It's not a major big upgrade to this camera. It should have been a huge big upgrade, and this is just a tweak. After 3 years I was expecting much more. On the other hand, the G5 is actually a substantial upgrade. It should have been this camera, and it's not. I don't know why. So this is actually a really good vlogging camera, and yet I'm not sure I can justify paying so much extra. Well, you can get a previous version of this camera to do almost exactly everything for you. I think we're up to number 7. Number 7 reason for this camera is that, well, the grip itself has not been really improved. It has been, but it hasn't been, and I'm nitpicking small things in here, but eventually those things do get annoying. Number 8 is the on and off button. It hasn't been moved. It is exactly where it shouldn't have been in the first place, and you can accidentally press on it instead of pressing on the flash, which is a big no-no over here. Number 9 is a previous defect from the previous camera as well, and that carries into this mode too, and it is the following. There is the sound. They kept it up here. They should have moved it somewhere else or in 2 different places, and it's still there. And number 10, and this is actually a downgrade from the previous camera. There has been a few downgrades, and I haven't really noticed anything else, but this one is big downgrade in here. So what is it? Well, before that there used to be a small thing that you could move right here on this side, and you could do chick on it, and as you do it, it moved a clicking sound and a smoothing sound over here, and it's no longer here. It's gone from here. I don't know why Canon, but this was a cool feature that I really loved about the previous camera. If you don't like hearing this noise, you can turn it off right there, and it will be smooth, and it's no longer here for this. So this is some of my biggest complaints over here. The only thing we really are getting here is the external mic that is available now in this camera, but for everything else that we have in this camera, it doesn't really justify the price. So overall, I do need something to record myself, and I'm having to use right now a backup camera because this camera is not doing the job correctly, because sometimes I would get my face all blowed up, and you can actually see it. There is a video review that I did, and I'm facing and doing a vlogging, and you can see right at the end of the video, maybe some other parts too, well, it is actually hunting, trying to focus on my face, and it is totally failing to actually do it. And I think I might actually add just a little bit of this footage for you so you can actually see what I mean by this. Overall, it is a very good camera, but if this came out before the 2 and the 3 it would have been forgiven. But then if there is no feature that's gonna fix this, I mean the face thing, this is a big thing, especially for somebody who vlogs a lot, who actually is going to record myself. And I have seen this happen too many times in the past month. Well, it made me think twice about this camera, and I'm like, why am I using this camera when I'm trying to create some good content for my views and for people who are watching me, and yet sometimes it is not focusing on my face. And this is a big thing, it really is. So what am I using now? I'm using the Canon M6, which is an awesome camera, but yet I like the convenience of being able to just prop this up and start recording, and I don't have to have a huge DSLR lens to carry with me. So this is a better camera because of that, but the face thing, not being able to focus on your face, it's a big deal. It is really the biggest deal and a deal breaker for this camera. I hope Canon gets this right by doing a software fix to fix this #1 issue that is the biggest deal breaker of this camera. I do love the silver and the black tone over here. I wish this would carry through to the M5, to the actually G5 one as well, but it doesn't. Other than that, it might be almost the perfect vlogging camera, except for this one fatal flaw that killed this camera. It really does, making it out of the box damaged on arrival, you might actually call it, if it's not that. But it's a defect. It's actually a defect in almost every single version of this one that came on the L. So if you can live with that, this is the only really big issue, then I would recommend for you to get this.